Jane's devoted, long-suffering father is so devastated by the loss that on coming back off sick leave to his job as an air traffic controller, he finds himself sitting at his station, blinking numbly, in an impotent trance as two dots on his computer screen representing aircraft converge in the skies above Albuquerque. Meanwhile, down below, Skylar, exhausted by her husband's constant lies and deception, has walked out with the new baby, and Walter sits brooding by the pool. With a new lease on life, thanks to a recent astronomically expensive surgical procedure, but with nothing in particular in prospect left to live for. There is a sudden boom above, and the camera pans up to a spectacular collision that, in its anomalous placement in the azure sky over a quiet suburb in New Mexico, inevitably conjures images of the planes crashing out of the blue into the World Trade Center on 9/11. The camera adopts a Google Earth position from the point of impact, swings round and pauses for a moment to take in the scale of the Holocaust as the wreckage from the two planes trace a gigantic smoking arc above the city, and we hurtle down towards the subdivision and the gridded houses. As a blue rectangle veers into sharp focus, the camera shifts to a poolside shot as Walter reacts to the loud splash produced as the piece of debris we've been tracking slams into the pond. We switch to an underwater shot from the bottom of the pool of a child's pink stuffed bear turning slowly as it twists back up towards the surface, with Walter peering down to investigate, his image refracted through the distorting surface of the pool, like the ghostly figures of the police and press photographers in the floating Gillis shot at the beginning of Sunset Boulevard. We recognise the toy from the series' opening sequence, a previously inexplicable shot of the little figure filmed from underneath, bobbing face down in the pool. I'm just going to show that opening and then the finale. This is the that series opened with this kind of image of the suburb as a really sterile place. Large references to impotence and mortality. But then you get this kind of prefiguring of the disaster to come. So, we recognise the toy, let's say, from the series opening sequence, a previously inexplicable shot, the little figure filmed from underneath, bobbing face down in the pool, arms outstretched with one eye missing, the fur on one side of its head burned off. A sequence that closes with the camera following the missing eye as it bounces across the surface of the pool and disappears into a vacuum filter. Breaking Bad series 2 thus ends with an abject hybrid of the two images that have haunted this essay and this talk, the body floating in the pool and the mutilated corpse with one eye missing. A fitting testament to all the interlocking serial disasters unfolding in our era, under our watch, on our very own doorsteps. Thomas Van Leeuwen ends The Springboard in the Pond, his lengthy meditation on the history of swimming pool design, by condensing thousands of years of recreational aquatic innovation into a single paragraph that sets out to expose in about 100 words not just the vanity and folly down the ages of the project of leisure-fixated lifestyle enhancement, but the futility of human engineering, period. After 330 lavishly illustrated pages, here's how he sums it all up. Humans dug holes in the ground, filled them with water, fitted ladders and installed springboards. Then they added disinfectants and colouring agents, but eventually, apprehensive of what they brought, they came to shun the family pool, influenced by environmental superstition, fear of litigation, and perhaps most of all, boredom. First they banned the springboard, then they banned their children, and finally they banned themselves. In reference to the recent upscale fad for converting residential pools into eco-friendly koi ponds, he ends with this. Now the way is free for a new generation of social swimmers. Goldfish, koi, even sharks begin to populate the family pool. The circle is complete. The piscine has been restored to its original state. The past its prime backyard oasis lies stranded in the liminal zone that connects the metered universe of domestic plumbing arrangements to the idea of the great outdoors. It's the front line in the property owner's war against the laws of entropy and nature, where the fragile, reeking chlorine burn, reinforced periodically with chemicals purchased at Home Depot, faces off around the vacuum pumps and filter systems against the invading barbarian bacterial horde. In the blighted suburbs of 2011, when I wrote the thing, where every other property was underwater, the backyard oasis can be a whole encompassing all of the meanings supplied by the dictionary at the opening of this essay. Orifice, hollow space, small dingy lodging or abode, a fix, a scrape, a mess. The high maintenance oasis is a headache that the beleaguered, about to be foreclosed upon owner needs, like she or he needs a hole in the head. Okay, I'm just going to finish by saying that, that article actually, of course, it didn't get read very much. It's in a catalogue, but it did get picked up with the drought, and I found out in the summer, this summer, in the drought, it picked up with the LA Times. The swimming pool symbol of Southern California takes a dip. August the 1st. For every family a house, with every house a garden, and every garden a swimming pool. This was the post-war LA dream reduced to its essence. And it drew on my essay, actually used a lot of the references, and quoted me saying things like, the average swimming pool loses 700 gallons every month. That's the way it goes, with journalists who have to get their copy in and have to provide their content and don't really respect people's copyright. But I could get a name check. Oh, it's fine on that. And then it got picked up by The Guardian in Britain, called the Globe over this too. They were the last word in glamour that has the sun set on LA swimming pools. As the state tackles a 3-year water crisis, artists and academics condemn backyard oases as selfish and wasteful. People who really bring misery and bring the hangover to the party. And then on the same day, that weird thing, on the same day that appeared, I saw this article, and I've got it in the LA Times. Water agencies are learning pools aren't a big factor in the drought. The LA Times 6th of September. And this was a definite response to these two other articles from the swimming pool and spa lobby, which just proved, that capitalism will operate. And LA Times in particular will certainly operate to give a balanced, fair and balanced view. So the Siffords in Mar Vista sometimes feel guilty about their family's pool, but analyses suggest they shouldn't. And we got this, you would have to be in very, very desperate conditions to be at a point where water that is used for filling of a pool is significant enough to change the situation. Even without cover, a pool uses less water over 3 years than a turf lawn of the same size. That's the point of comparison, a thirsty lawn. And these are the share lines. Pools aren't the water wasters some have made them out to be. Water districts are learning. Over time, pools often use less water than the lawn of the same size. Studies show at least 2 California water distributors ease water limits after hearing from pool lobby and crunchy numbers. And I accessed that this morning just to see it online. But when I read the thing in the paper, it also had quotes that they managed to lose, saying it's un-American to come out with this kind of stuff about what you should and shouldn't do with your body and your property, on your property. It's your right as an American to use water and resources however you feel. And it ends, the Siffords, this is the family that they concentrate on, are the kind of environmentally conscious family who attend local sustainability workshops and have solar panels atop their Mar Vista home. They use timers on their kids' showers and have planted drought-tolerant landscapes, but they feel a twinge of guilt over their beloved 52-foot-long swimming pool. Sifford's son, Casey, 15, has epilepsy, which can make leaving home hard. Nolan Sifford, 17, has Asperger's syndrome and doesn't usually like going out. The pool is an important centre of the family's staycation. They can't call vacation. A sanctuary where Annette can keep an eye on her kids in the kitchen. So never mind the naysayers.